I would now like to invite Jaideep Singh, the camp commandant and a long-standing volunteer of Sikh Youth Australia, to make the official presentation.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh, which basically means the Khalsa, the pure and sovereign, belongs to the oneness, and the victory and triumph is of the oneness. I'm a little bit lost for words, especially after listening to Nanki Angat, because that, I think, speaks for every camper over here. The experience they talk about is something I've experienced as well. I have to hold my emotions a little bit. I do get emotional because here we come to go through a transformation in the camp and Sikhi, and our journey each one of us goes through is, I guess, in a much better place due to forums and congregations like these. So dear guests, on behalf of Sikh Youth Australia, I extend a warm welcome to each and everyone present here. It's a privilege to have our esteemed dignitaries, Her Excellency the Honourable Ms. Sam Mostyn, Governor-General of Commonwealth of Australia, Michelle Rowland, Member of Parliament and Minister for Communications, James Jekasoti, Deputy CEO of Multicultural New South Wales, and our very own esteemed leaders of various Sikh organizations. It's so good to see all of you under one roof. Firstly, let me start by saying how privileged we are, Your Excellency. I realize the amount of work that goes in the service that you do and various communities that you touch, and recognizing and celebrating every Australian. I express my deep gratitude for taking the time out, and for the Minister as well. Today I stand in front of you not just as a volunteer of SYA, but also as a representation of the diversity that Australian fabric society represents. I also stand as a growing community, the Sikh community, which is not just growing in numbers, but growing immensely in its impact. And most importantly, I stand here in front of you as a proud Aussie. SYA has been working for 25 years towards integrating Sikh values into the Australian community, and so have a lot of the other organizations who are present here. And that's the beauty. There was a discussion happening during lunch where there was a comment made that it doesn't matter where Sikhs are globally, the issues, our target of what we're trying to achieve, our purpose is quite united. And that is thanks to the wisdom, the spiritual wisdom that we've been entrusted with through our gurus. And let me just, if I can just, go to the next slide please. If I can just there are a lot of learned people here who have a lot of tremendous knowledge in our faith, in spiritual wisdom. But I just want to share what my limited understanding is. And a Sikh really, if somebody says who's a Sikh, there's the simplest ways that a Sikh is a learner, but more importantly, a seeker. So hence, any one of us is a Sikh if we are trying to unite and connect with the spiritual wisdom, which is the one wisdom that we believe in, which is the source of life. It's the same air we breathe, doesn't matter which part of the world you come from. It's represented by a Kunkar, and the simplest way to describe it is the oneness, the one creative force that is keeping all of us alive and keeping everything around us going. So I feel that's the definition of Sikh. Sikh is not limited to how you look, where you come from, what you eat, and what you speak. And the brief discussions that I had with yourself, Your Excellency, and with Minister Rowland, I would say that you are an amazing Sikh as well in all the service and the work you do. So thank you. To integrate the values of Sikhi, let's just look at the key principles that we are trying to imbibe in our own life, but also spread. The very first pillar is Naam Japna, which is basically meditation and immersing ourselves in the remembrance of oneness. It's really all about going inwards and connecting to that higher source of energy. The second principle is Kirat Karna, which is working hard. Our spiritual wisdom encourages us to have a family life, to have careers, to be progressive, to do everything that the material world has there to offer, to have our goals and careers. However, do it remembering the one, and do it through honest, hard, sincere work. And the most important principle then as a result of that is Vanchakna, which is to share your earnings, your time, your skills with everyone around you, irrespective of where they come from. As a result of these principles, the concept of selfless service is deeply rooted in the Sikh DNA. And I think this is where I see the alignment of Sikh values and Australian values. It's amazing, just even watching cricket. Steve Waugh was a real, popular cricketer in India and continues. And the amount of charity work that was, the missionary work that goes on. And the fact we are here at Salvation Army facility, there's 40,000 volunteers that Salvation Army has. We talk about our RFS, we talk about the volunteering work that Australia does in pretty much every field. It's incredible. And I think that's something really resonates with the Sikhi value and the Sikhi way of life. Our community camp, the Sikh camp, is not just an event. It's a sacred journey. It's a pilgrimage of the soul, where we come together as a family to connect with our spiritual heritage. And through this learning and connection, we are able to go out and serve the community, the wider community better. So the theme for our camp this year is Power of Sangat, which broadly means the power of a congregation, but not just any congregation. It's a congregation which is united in learning and connecting with that divine wisdom. And it is through this connection we all can achieve transformation and serve humanity. So hence, Your Excellency, looking into the future, what we would like to see is how can we strengthen our ties with your respective offices, as well as with Minister Rowland's office. How can we engage to showcase our diversity? How can we create a platform to share these Sikhi and universal values on a national and a state level? We are privileged to have your presence here, and we look forward to this future engagement. And once again, I'd like to thank everyone for your time and for your patience. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa.